When I think about greenhouse, I think about the name. Initially, it might give you an impression of a little bit of an artificial context, but it's the furthest thing from the truth. It is, I actually think of it, it might sound funny to say it this way, but I actually think about the Garden of Eden when I think of the greenhouse, because Garden of Eden was this enclosed place. It was a delightful place, but it was a protected place. And it was a thriving place with all kinds of new species and creatures growing there that were so alive that they were thriving. And they were so alive because they were connected to God, and they were connected to human beings who were still operating at at their peak in relationship with God and relationship with the rest of the creation. And it's not that greenhouse is paradise, not at all, but there's something about it that reminds me of that. And I think it's this. It's more like what Jesus was saying about the rabbi of the kingdom, the teacher of wisdom. He goes into his treasury and he pulls out something old and something new. And it's a place where that which has always been true and therefore is reliable, it's wisdom. It creates a sense of safety. We can go to school on the mistakes of those who've gone before us. That's there. So there's a great base of like financial wisdom and stewardship, administrative infrastructure that you can lean back on and rely upon. And especially in this day and age, it's helpful because there's a lot of liability wisdom and prudence built into this, and cross checks, making sure that our ministry approach and our ministry leaders actually have the maturity to care for people and not to unintentionally or, God forbid, intentionally hurt anybody. So that wisdom is really there and creates a sense of safety. And that structure is at the same time not constraining or constrictive. It creates a space for the emerging of a lot of new things. And these are things that are bearing fruit. Sometimes they emerge spontaneously. They're a spontaneous expansion. It's a new way of engaging with God and with one another, like on a campus in a dorm room or in a nursing home or some other environment that we haven't even imagined yet. And that can be supported. It's a place where those new kinds of ministry modalities can happen. And you can still tap into the wisdom and the safety of those who've gone before, and a system that's designed to do that without constricting these new things. So that's what I love about it. It's this combination of wisdom and creativity and dynamism. And it also, with that, because it's been around for a decent amount of time now, even though there's all this variety and there's constant newness, we've grown through our growing pains. And there's a lot of wisdom about how to stay in and how to work through issues and then get to an even deeper place of richness and growth. So if you're thinking about investing your life in an organization or some of what the Lord has gifted you with in terms of talents or resources or just spiritual capacity, a greenhouse is a great place to be. One of the reasons I really feel strongly about that too is because it's an environment where lay ministry is released, where it really is embodied and understood as a core principle of our mission, that the front line of ministry and the main ministry itself is a lay ministry. It's every person who knows Jesus has been gifted and equipped to be able to minister to others, to care for others, and to be his arms, his hands, his feet, his words of encouragement and care. So it's a great place to plug in, no matter what your gift is and no matter what context you see yourself releasing that into. I started out as a guy with an MBA from University of Chicago and very analytical, very quantitative, and that's where I was coming from in many ways. And it's changed a lot for me as I've planted a church with Greenhouse, and now I'm on the board. But it's an exciting environment because it takes into account all the different ways that God has, in his great creativity and now in his grace with Jesus, he's created it and redeemed it to thrive and to be fruitful and to be multiplying and to be beautiful, and a beauty that we can all enjoy. So pray about it and join, get involved. I think Greenhouse is a great place. It's a great place of growth and also a great place of wisdom. God bless.